Hi, welcome. So let's do a little reading. I just said my little prayer, tapped in, and the word poignant was given. And I was like, what does that even mean? I thought it meant like something of like importance, but it says, I had to Google it, says evoking a keen sense of sadness or regret. And I was like, ooh, okay. So then I pulled this Life Happens Oracle. So let's see if what message wants to come through for an overall. So keen sadness or regret. I don't know what's going to happen with this reading. We have freedom. Secret. I don't know why, I just love threes. Celebration. Freedom. Secrets. I love that. It's almost like this idea of freedom from secrets results in celebration. It's like an equation. Freedom minus secrets equals celebration. Well, we'll go with that. Let's see what happens. So, thank you for these messages. And this time I just want to let's do all threes. I just feel like threes today. I don't know. It's March 22nd, 322. No significance there. Or is there? March is the third month. Let's see here. All right. So we have the Nine of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. Let's get an overall of the Queen of Wands. We'll put her up there. So I was thinking like secrets, we might get the Seven of Swords, but we didn't get that. Maybe we'll get it later. So we have the Nine of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands really is celebration. The Four, it's so funny. The Four reminds me of holding on to. Like it's the card of like grasping into whatever you think is going to make you feel stable or like safe, secure, but it may be deceptive. Like, is that really what makes you feel secure? And then we have the Nine of Cups, which is satisfaction, abundance. There's like some gratitude here, but really just being satisfied with what you've done so far in life or where you are or what you have to show for it. Even though I don't like that phrase, but it's not just all for show, but he's got a little bit of like, oh, look what I've done. Like some pride. Pride's the word. So there's like something here. I'm not quite sure yet. The overall with the Queen of Wands is somebody, she's like she can manifest anything she wants. So it's no surprise here that we've got some satisfaction, like some amount of fulfillment happening. Got some recognition and success. And then we've got some stability, and especially financial stability is what this card tends to mean, but stability in your everyday life. So, and the Queen of Wands has made all of that happen. So there's something here. I'm still a little curious. Let me pull three of these. Let's just see. This is we're going to go all over the place, but in threes, and just see what message emerges that we feel good about. Ooh, turning point. I'll put these over here. We have a turning point. Sowing seeds. Waiting. That is funny. It's like something here. I'm going to pull a few more cards and then we're going to start to pull the feelings together. And then what I'd like to do is do a few of these Inner Voice Tarot, because these have some messages as well as the traditional meanings of the tarot cards. So turning point, sowing seeds, and then waiting. It's like, ooh, what are we planting seeds for? It has to do with freedom, secrets, celebration, satisfaction, and gratitude, and pride, and stability, and success, and recognition. It's all over the place. So let's see here. We have the Six of Pentacles, which is I give and receive in the spirit of love and gratitude. So there's that abundance, generosity there as well. with the Seven of Pentacles. This one is the sowing seeds. It's patience, investment. I trust my highest good is unfolding. So it's trust in what you're sowing. So there's something here. Oh, interesting. And then the Three of Cups. My heart is filled with joy. So there's celebration, friendship. So what is happening? Whoop, let me pull those down for you. I'll move these over. What is happening here? There's something to do with like this turning point is like, where have we been? So there's something that's been a little contracted, a little secretive, and it's like we're kind of coming out of that into being seen. And you've been planting seeds, and now we're at this waiting point, especially with this, our pentacles are growing. We've gone from 4 to 6 to 7. And so there's this like contracted state, and then we start to give and receive, and then we are planting seeds and waiting to see what comes of it. So there seems to be this, you coming out of your comfort place, your secret, like, it's not necessarily secret, but your place of just isolation, maybe. Let's see about that. So there's a different kind of deck I'm wanting to use. I kind of want to use these, the Cats Rule the Earth Tarot. It's so funny. I went from just literally at Christmas time, 0 cat decks, tarot decks, to now I have 4. Sorry, not sorry. Thank you, Spirit. Let's clarify each of these cards. 1, 2, 3. We have, so for the Nine of Cups, we have the Page of Pentacles. More Pentacles. There's something to do with like your physical reality, something very rooted in your everyday life. And the Page brings a message of a new start, and that tends to come after the sowing seeds and waiting and like moving out of like where you've been contracted, isolated, secretive in that regard, maybe not sharing your struggles with people. And then the Four of Pentacles, we have the 10. What is all this Pentacles? This is really wild. And then the 10 of Pentacles is saying, so let me just say, like the Nine of Cups, you feel some emotional satisfaction or fulfillment from something in your life, something you're pretty proud of. And then something saying there's a new start coming from that. Like not just from that, but it's kind of clarifying that feeling of, I'm pretty proud of this about myself. So let's bring it into reality. Maybe you're going to start sharing that with someone or people around you. And then we have this feeling like I want to feel stable. And then that's growing, like you're kind of like grasping, kind of like a little bit scarcity mindset, like you're grasping into like full-on abundance with the 10 of Pentacles. And so there's a growth there. All these pentacles are like the numbers keep increasing. So that's a very good sign. And then we have the Six of Wands clarified by the Six of Pentacles again, with like all of Pentacles. So that's saying that this success and recognition is something like you're really grateful for that. And now you have some sort of abundance that you can then turn around and give out, where you went from isolation and kind of like scarcity, like I've got to conserve resources, and now it's like growing. So we're going to keep clarifying this. I love like it's kind of growing slowly. It kind of like, ooh, let's feel into this. This is fun. So we're going from to very slowly, feeling like there's been a turning point. That is really resonating, where we felt like you wanted freedom from isolation, like you wanted, and this Three of Cups is here, which is really important. Like when we're growing this abundance of like it's almost like, oh, I believe I can. So it's slowly growing. And then moving towards this Three of Cups, which is like togetherness, harmony, in celebration with other people. This is a card of celebration. This is a card of celebration. This is a card of celebration. So there's something like wanting to be in communion or community with other people. So that's important. And then I want to get, I'm going to use stuff I don't use a lot of, just because I want to give them all a chance. So we'll use the Spirit Song Tarot, which is one I don't use all too often, but it's a beautiful deck. And let's keep clarifying these 3 cards here. You know what I should have done is, it's not too late. We can do whatever we want. So let's clarify the Queen of Wands for the overall energy. Thanks, Spirit. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. Like, how many pentacles? Like, all of these clarification cards were pentacles. And they've all increased, literally. So then, except this Six of Pentacles was like a confirmation of what we got over here. And the Knight of Pentacles kept growing as well. So this is that action. First of all, I love this card. Look at it. It's so funny. Oh, I love the cat decks. They're so whimsical. Whimsy. So that's funny with the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Everything is, wow, this is like really grounded, literally sowing seeds into the earth. Whatever you might have felt before, like this freedom has like this airy quality, like maybe you didn't feel grounded, maybe you just felt like all over the place, or like didn't really know yourself that well, and everything's like, whew, bring it down into reality. That's really cool, really interesting. How many more pentacles will we get? Maybe we'll get a different vibe with this deck. So let's clarify the Nine of Cups, Page of Pentacles. We have the Hanged Man, patience, perspective. Ooh, like this waiting, there's patience. The Hanged Man, like, sorry, there was a cat down here. He kind of contorts himself. He knows it's time to get a fresh perspective because he's like literally contorting himself into different ways of looking at things. So it might be painful. It might be uncomfortable, rather. And it seems like you're really ready. Everything is like really ready for something here. Let's clarify the Four of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. We have the Five of Swords, strategy and resilience. You know what's funny is that poignant where it said like, what? Let me reread it again. It said evoking a keen sense of sadness or regret. I was wondering when that was going to emerge, because this Five of Swords is a card of regret. At least that's how I read it. It's looking back on the past, like even your past self, and being like, oof, yeah, I don't want that anymore. And then you sort of pause and like reflect on the way you've been treated or the way you've treated others, and you might feel a sense of regret with that. And so that's showing up with the Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, which is like maybe you felt like you've been emotionally distanced from your loved ones or family, and you feel a little regret about that, because this is like the 10 is like family, and the 4 is that trying to grasp onto what makes you feel comforted, stable. And he's alone. Like, you've sought that in isolation. There's secret. But there's a turning point here with feeling into this regret. So there's something about sowing seeds to come into community with other people, and that you believe in that reciprocity of I give and receive in the spirit of love and gratitude. So that's on the right path, but it's taking a moment here to feel into that regret, because it may not be regret. It just may be like, I need to learn some lessons here and move out of regret. Like, regret to me is like it's an emotion of avoidance, resistance. Like, I feel regret for things, but it's a sparking emotion to move beyond it. What are we going to do with that feeling of regret? What lessons are we going to learn so that we don't do the things that caused us to feel the regret? Don't do those things going forward. So that's our turning point. What is that? That's literally our turning point right here in the middle of the spread, saying, take a look at this. What has kept us from our loved ones? It's 11:11. What made us feel like isolated? Because something here is saying there's a new start to come into this emotional space, this emotional fulfillment, and we need a new perspective. And that's taking a moment here to see, like, what did I do? What am I learning from that? What don't I want to do anymore? And you trust in your highest good is unfolding. There's patience here to sit with that in the hanged man state of like really, really trying to see things from everybody's angle, not just your angle of like, oh, I was hurt, so hurt people hurt other people. No, it's like, well, what did that person feel like? What did they think about what you did? Or what did you think about what they did? How did it make you feel? So let's clarify this 6 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles. It's funny that we have 2 6s there. And then we have the World, fulfillment and celebration. So that, again, celebration. 6 of Pentacles, again, is that more reciprocity. So there's fulfillment. There's something about you finally moving out of a place of like closed offness into giving of yourself, and therefore you're going to receive in return, but that's not why you're doing it. There's something here saying that you want that emotional fulfillment. I don't know the word, like satisfaction of being in communion with like your loved ones. There's something, you're moving out of isolation. That's the vibe I'm getting here. Which will ultimately lead to celebration, right? That's when people come together. That's what it's all about. So we have a lot of 3s. Oh, I forgot again, you guys. I keep forgetting to clarify that overall. I did that in the last reading too. Let's get one more card for the Queen of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. I love these. And we have the Magician, willpower, creation. So the Queen of Wands, by the way, is like the complement to the Magician. She is a magician. And it's so funny that we got that. And the Knight of Pentacles, look at him with his he's creating magic there. He's got all his ingredients. He's literally the guy of action. The Knight is action to create that new start. So there's something here saying you are willing this to happen. You are creating this new way of being in your life. There's a turning point here. I don't know if it's a specific situation or what, but I did have this inkling before we started to use our Muse cards. So thank you. We're going to look at all these giant deck of cards. And these are story cards. And I'm using Muse because I want more current energy instead of past energy. Like Dixit gives me, like the Dixit story cards, I have a bucket of them. I've learned through using them that they bring about information about the past. At least that's how I feel right now. And these are kind of like current, not way back in the Wayback Machine. These are like, we can glean a lot just from like current storytelling kind of cards. So let's have a few of these to clarify the story. What are we... There's something about moving from closed to open, but what do we need to know? Whoa. I don't know what to make of these. Look at these. We've got two, like a whale and a dolphin in a boat fishing for like a man in swim trunks with a cheeseburger on the on the line. So it's like tables are turned again, turning point, seeing things from a different perspective. Look at that guy looking up, and he's like, what is pulling me out of my old way of seeing? There's something here. There has been an energy of moving with this turning point, like something's drawing you out of that old way of being. And then we have this Santa, I don't know, what is that? A Santa Claus character in shorts in the snow in front of a house with maybe some coffee. He's very whimsical too. Look at all his curly hair. He looks pretty happy. He looks really chill. He's in a cold environment but feeling very warm. So that really resonates with like wanting to, like, you're definitely building up this inner warmth, warming up to the people around you, and just being really content with that, where you might not have felt like you belonged before. Like, again, there's this weird feeling of belonging coming up. And then we have a skeleton flying a kite that looks like, wow, there's a lot going on here. It looks like he's in the desert, but under like the Milky Way, or under a bunch of stars. But then when you look closely at what he's flying, it looks like an underwater creature, and there are bubbles floating up behind it. So again, there's this like different worlds. Like all three of these are like being in different worlds, like having switched. They're like two worlds and that don't go together. So it's like you're switching. It's like you're in this process of metamorphosis in a way, and switching. Ooh, that's interesting. Where do we go from here? Let's get there's like this here. This is the one I want. The shaman's dream, because things are kind of dreamy in this. And I want some shaman energy, some like between, I think of between worlds, like the shaman has the ability to go between worlds really fluidly. And so what can we learn from that energy? We have winter's dream, gestation period. Turning point, waiting, gestation period. It feels like we are in between worlds. Like, what are we waiting on? What's happening during this transition period? 63. Whoops. Come here. Sanctuary, conscious awareness. The winter's dream is a summons to go within. Hanged man, anyone? Your life force longs to turn inward, like the sap of trees returning to the roots. Cast your gaze toward the deep and hidden places in your heart. Come to rest again in the sanctuary and safety of your soul, and be at peace, basking in your crystalline clarity in that quiet place. This is not hibernation. Do not fall asleep! Exclamation point. Take your quiet, wakeful nature with you into stillness, and know that you are replenishing your life force. Trust that the deeply buried seeds inside your soul, the ones you planted... Hold on, I gotta reread this. It's too perfect with this sowing seeds and waiting. Trust that the deeply buried seeds inside your soul, the ones you planted even before you were born, are stirring softly, ready to awaken with the spring. But do not try to rouse them early. Instead, surrender to the quiet of winter's dream. Winter's dream can lull you into a slumber where you can lose consciousness and become caught in a nightmare. It's funny because this is a winter scene right here. Awaken! Awaken! Find that easy return to wakefulness that brings you clarity. This is the time to set your priorities in order, yet not act on any of them. Allow the clarity and transparency that comes with winter's dream to permeate your heart and soul. The time for action will come later. Remember that all things are born of dreams, and your task is to wake up within the dream, to lucidly guide it to your chosen destination. That's been this feeling this whole time, is this like there's not a ton of action energy here. Like, oh, we're off and doing something. This truly does feel like a gestation period with the waiting. We're seeing things from a new perspective. We're in that. We know where we're going to go. There will be celebration. There will be fulfillment. I do have this ability to create what I want in my life, but like slow down. This is like our slow period. So that's interesting. What are you guys curious about? I feel like we want more information, don't we? Don't we? Or is that just me? Maybe that's just me, because I always want more. I kind of want with this, I want to pull 3 of these. Let's clarify further. Well, I don't want to put the 3. These are all in 3s. I'm just going to pull 3 cards from the Zodiac Tarot, because it makes me think of like when I saw this starry sky and the dreaminess. These cards kind of evoke those feelings. And so let's clarify further. What message do you have for us in this gestation period? What can we learn? There's the King of Swords. Well, now we got some swords. Talk about clarity. That's what this is saying in the gestation period. It's like we're waiting for that clarity to emerge. And then we have 2 of Swords, which is total like going, like closing off the outside world, going deep into your own intuition to gain clarity. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which means everything's coming around, like the full cycle of things. Ooh. So this is confirmation that this waiting period is going to bring about a sense of clarity. And the Wheel of Fortune, it's like this isn't the only time that you've done this or will do it, meaning the cycles of things, we come out and then we go back in. We talked about this recently, this like opening and closing down. It's like the cycles of the seasons, where it's like there's a lot of spring energy here. There's also like the winter energy, when things go dormant and then start to awaken. But like right now too, we're like literally just had the spring equinox, I think. It's March 22nd. So yeah, I think it was yesterday or today. I have to look, because that one changes sometimes, right? It's not always the same date of the year. Well, anyway, and then we're like in this waiting period for spring to really take hold, because we literally just had tornadoes 2 days ago, then woke up to snow yesterday, and then we had bright sunny skies and tons of wind. Like we're just like waiting. We're like, we don't even know what's going to happen, so let's just wait for something like spring to really emerge. So I feel like that's kind of our energy right now, and these cycles just go round and round, and the only constant is change. And so something's calling us out. Like, I'm curious where we're going. Let's get a few cards for where are we going out of this once we emerge. So what I'll do is I'll pull out, I kind of want to do the Wild Unknown Tarot, because we're going into the unknown. Like where will we go once we emerge from this gestation period? I know we're getting clarity. Where are we going? What are we learning? We have this Son of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. Is that right? They always call him something different. Hold on, let me get a few. We got all these swords again. And there's, you guys, we got the 7 of Swords. I knew it was here with that Secrets. And then we got the Wheel of Fortune again. All this clarity again. Coming out of, okay, so this is what's interesting about these 3. And maybe whenever I get confirmation, like we ask a question and it's like, no, that was the thing. I'm like, okay, well, stop asking. So the Knight of, is so funny, because it's like this father-son energy with the King of Swords and the Son of Swords. which is the Knight of Swords, which we did get. We have the Knight of Pentacles here. So there is a little bit of action here. The Knight of Swords is really fast. He's like, once you come out of this, there's going to be a swift emergence out of secrets, out of the deception. So there will be a freedom emerging. And the Wheel of Fortune again just says there's a timing. We're getting a sense, this is saying pay attention to timing. So don't rush out of this. This is saying if you do rush out of it, we're just right back to secrets. We haven't taken the lessons learned from this Five of Swords. That's why we got the sword energy here. So if we connect the dots, the swords, we're learning, we're gaining some clarity about where we've been a little self-deceiving, where we've had that regret, that grief and regret, grief from the regret. So something in our past is saying, pay attention to this. It's a teacher. Learn from it in your gestation period. From that, gaining that new perspective really does mean like see things from the way that other person might have seen things. Because it feels like a person energy where, like, especially because we want to come into relationship, like healthy relationship again with the people around us or that person or people. And there is a bit of like, our tribe, our people, our family kind of energy. So you're healing something that's for the better, the good in the long run. Like you're going to be in better relationship with the people around you if you take a look at what these regrets were in your past. There's going to be a lot of harmony here. Apparently that's why I felt the need to do all threes. So yeah, that's what we have. Take time in this gestation period. Everything has a divine right timing with this Wheel of Fortune. Don't rush it, because if you rush it, you're nowhere. Like you did no work. Nothing is there for you to harvest. Plant your seeds in this gestation period. This can be seen as a turning point in your life. Like you will start to see, I'm getting all the chills. Like when you really trust and like really give it this period of time. And what a perfect time before we're off and running in spring and everybody's like, let me out of the house. Like take these last few moments of being warm inside your house, like because it's cold and crazy tornado-y outside, to really gestate, just, like you're birthing something. The seeds have been planted in you and you're going to birth it. That's like literally the story here. So give it that nurturing time that's left before you just bypass it. It's calling to you to let go, like learn from those old secrets. Don't carry secrets forward in life. Like be an open book, and then you come into relationship with the people you really vibe with, that you're meant to be in relationship with. It might mean letting some people go. You can stop the video anytime. I kind of want to do a couple more things. And yeah, that means this video will be a little bit longer, but that's okay. I feel like I'm going to pull out our patterns of progress here. These aren't too powerfully deep, but sometimes they tell us some simple things to help us transition to a new way of being or thinking. So, do you have a message for us here? We have renewed hope. Find hope and inspiration in the darkest moments, embracing new beginnings. Yes, these are new beginnings. But it's saying find hope and inspiration in those dark moments. So when you look back at this, is what I'm getting from this, from the Five of Swords. When you're thinking about past regrets, try to have some grace for yourself or for the other people, whatever direction that was. It's still hard to tell. For some reason, I feel like it was you having regret for how you maybe treated others, or how you maybe kept isolated and kept people, your loved ones, at arm's length. That was the initial vibe. So just give yourself grace. And in those dark moments, just find some hope and inspiration. And one thing that comes to mind is that, like, trust that the people around you are very forgiving, like, understanding people. Like, they will Like if you come out of this and truly say, I want a relationship with you. This is me. I'm healing this old thing. Like, can we start fresh? Like the spring, this freshness that's coming in, renewed hope, embracing new beginnings. Like, just trust that there are people in your life who will want that too. Like, they don't want to be, everybody loves to start fresh. And then we have, connected crossroads. Make choices thoughtfully and recognize the impact of your connections. Okay, this is definitely about those people you've been in connection with. And when you go forward, it's saying like from this point forward, be very thoughtful and recognize the impact of like what you do in relationship with others. Like it's one of the most sacred parts of life, isn't it? Because we're all here just figuring our way through life. And it's one of the most, I call it sacred because it's like, I've had to deal with this on my life. Where I didn't maybe treat relationships as sacred, or that they, I don't know, just didn't seem as sacred. I don't know another word right now for how I'm feeling, but they really are. Like, that's another human being, and they have just as valid feelings as you have, right? And when you don't treat it with like the thing you're co-creating, if you disregard it, it's like destroying something they put their love into too. It's not just saying, well, I didn't hurt them, so I'm okay. I'm just like creating isolation. It's like, no, there's a destruction of the energy that was this third thing that two different energies created together. It's this third thing that you, like when you destroy a relationship or like distance yourself from it, it's like the dissolution of this third thing. And so there's grief to be had, well, from both parties, but definitely the person who never saw it coming. And so there's definitely like when going into relationship from this growth space that you're birthing a new healthy way of being in relationship, you're going to be making thoughtful choices and recognizing the impact of that sacred third thing. So there's two people out here, and then together you create this independent, co-created third thing. And that thing is sacred because people are sacred. But then there's this like hard to name, intangible ball of like beauty that gets created and that's sacred. It's like, how do you point to it, right? Like I'm in a marriage and it's like, how do I describe a relationship? I'm going to cry, guys. There's something here that's about like a really profound new way of approaching connection. And it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like to think about, if you look out in the world, there's like 8 billion people. But do you know how many kabillion, jillion, zillion, kabillions, like of those balls that we can't even see, like these interconnection points between people, those relationships that are co-created, big and small, like thin and airy and like dense and compact. There's like so many connection points between all of us. And like if I think of me as a ball and a million spokes out for all the different connections I've made in my life, and you have the same and you have the same, and some of us have more spokes coming out and some have fewer, just depending on how much in relationship we've been. Oh my God, you know how many of those relationship balls are out there? Man, this is a weird analogy. I just think about like there's so much richness, so much sacredness to like what we do with each other. It's beautiful. And it reminds me like I really need to be more thoughtful too. Like those connections are sacred. So there's something here saying you are reevaluating this whole thing. Like people mean a lot to you, and you're going to start really proving it. Wow, guys. I kind of want, oh, wow. There's something here. The heart just popped out. So there's something of the heart. These are, what are these called? Whoops. These are called the living untethered. I love that because you're coming out of isolation. It's like you're becoming untethered and full of just unbound love. What is a message we have? I'm going to shuffle until I get one. Okay, the mind. When you commit to spiritual growth, you work on letting go of the stored blockages from the past and not storing any more from the present. This leads to true spiritual freedom. Look, freedom. This is hilarious. I say that because it's confirmation of what we've already talked about. When you commit to spiritual growth, this really is a growth of spirit. It's your new way of like, it's sacred. That word's sacred. You work on letting go of the stored blockages from the past. That's that 5 of Swords energy. And not storing any more from the present. This is you like thinking thoughtfully and recognizing the impact of your connections, meaning I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not taking any more of that forward. And this leads to true spiritual freedom. Okay, guys, I think that was the icing on the cake. Something was calling and we got it. So, do you have all the chills? I'm so happy for you. So thanks for watching and enjoy your gestation period. Get cozy in there these last few days before we have the good weather coming. If you're in my part of the world anyway, some of you already have good weather. So yeah, enjoy the waiting. Bye. Hey, Jelly Bean. Makes it a little hard to put things away. Yes, it does.